Hello everybody. Lucas Clay here with the next episode in the Importance of Philosophy series. As usual, I will be reading mostly verbatim from the website importanceofphilosophy.com. The material is copyrighted by Jeff Landauer and Joseph Rollins, and the video is made by me with their permission. Today we start with epistemology. What is epistemology? Epistemology is the study of our method of acquiring knowledge. It answers the question, how do we know? It encompasses the nature of concepts, the constructing of concepts, the validity of the senses, logical reasoning, as well as thoughts, ideas, memories, emotions, and all things mental. It is concerned with how our minds are related to reality, and whether these relationships are valid or invalid. Why is epistemology important? Epistemology is the explanation of how we think. It is required, in order to be able to determine the true from the false, by determining a proper method of evaluation. It is needed, in order to use and obtain knowledge of the world around us. Without epistemology, we could not think. More specifically, we would have no reason to believe our thinking was productive or correct, as opposed to random images flashing before our mind. With an incorrect epistemology, we would not be able to distinguish truth from error. The consequences are obvious. The degree to which our epistemology is correct is the degree to which we could understand reality, and the degree to which we could use that knowledge to promote our lives and goals. Flaws in epistemology will make it harder to accomplish anything. What are the key elements of a proper epistemology? Our senses are valid, and the only way to gain information about the world. Reason is our method of gaining knowledge and acquiring understanding. Logic is our method of maintaining consistency within our set of knowledge. Objectivity is our means of associating knowledge with reality to determine its validity. Concepts are abstracts of specific details of reality, or of other abstractions. A proper epistemology is a rational epistemology. The basics of epistemology we will cover are philosophy, objectivity, logic, reason, knowledge, standard of evaluation, perception. The specifics of epistemology we will include are concepts, definitions, words, emotions, integration, values, certainty, deduction, induction/abstraction, focus, evasion, and the technicalities of epistemology are context, fundamentals. Knowledge is hierarchical, and the arbitrary. We move on now to philosophy. A philosophy is a system of beliefs about reality. It is one's integrated view of the world. It includes an understanding of the nature of existence, man, and his role in the world. Philosophy is the foundation of knowledge. It is the standard by which ideas are integrated and understood. Philosophy is a necessary product of man's rational mind. To live, man must gain knowledge of the world. To understand the world, man must form conclusions about its very nature. For instance, to gain knowledge of particular objects, man must recognize that objects have identity. He must recognize that conclusions are possible, because the world does exist, and exists in a particular way. Philosophy provides the framework for which man can understand the world. It provides the premises by which man can discover truth, and use his mind to support his life. Every man has an understanding of the world. Every man must have a philosophy, even if it is never made explicit. Our next subject will be objectivity. Objectivity is the recognition of reality as the ultimate standard of evaluation. It is the acceptance that all knowledge is knowledge about reality. It is the only means of determining the truth. The concepts of true and false are only meaningful in reference to reality. Objectivity is the act of referencing reality and determining the truth. It is the act of founding one's knowledge on reality, and making one's thoughts and ideas conform to it. To be objective, reality must be an explicit standard to be compared to. Objectivity is the process of actively comparing one's thoughts to reality, and this can only be accomplished if the purpose of the comparison is identified. The purpose, of course, is to set the standard for validity. It is a common mistake to believe that one cannot be objective if one has a personal stake involved in something. The implication is that the emotion or motivation necessarily prevents one to be accurate. Since objectivity is the act of conforming one's thoughts to reality, it should be clear that this is possible regardless of any influences, and I'll finish this video with the topic of logic. Logic is the art of conforming one's thoughts to the law of identity. In one respect, thoughts have to conform to the law of identity, as does everything else. This has to do with the nature of thoughts. Ideas have a different nature than memories, which are different from emotions. In this respect, all thoughts conform to the law of identity. In a different respect, though, it requires focused action to conform to the law of identity. Ideas have content. This content is generated by the thinker from perceptual data. However, it may be generated incorrectly. Logic requires the content to be clear and identifiable. It requires that no contradiction exist within the idea. Logic is used in integrating ideas as well. Again, it is the process of conforming to the law of identity. What this means in practice is combining information clearly and without contradiction. It must be combined into a specific identifiable package that doesn't contradict itself. Logic is the art of non-contradictory identification. It is the mental tool that sets the standard for proper thought. It is the foundation of knowledge. It is the means of understanding and clarity. Without logic, we could not distinguish between the true and the false. We could not throw out bad ideas, because we could not judge them as bad. Without logic, our minds would be cluttered with so many absurdities and falsehoods that, if there was some truth, it would be lost in the garbage of contradictions, fuzzy thoughts, and non-integrated mental images. This concludes today's video. I welcome any comments or questions anyone might have. This is Lucas Clay saying, remember to always keep an open mind and to question everything, because without questions knowledge can't grow.